Hey everybody, what's up? So, if you've never seen one of my videos before where I've talked about movies and certain other things, I actually don't go to movies. I haven't been to a movie in a long time. The reason being, one of them that I'm willing to discuss, is that with my hearing loss, I actually need closed captions. There are devices, obviously, that do help here in movie theaters in certain situations. The problem is they don't work that well. And the one time I tried one, it was more of a hindrance than a help. It just sucked. Around here also we don't have anything that does the closed captioning, so I have to wait for home release, whether it be on DVD, 4K, whatever, or digital. And I did get the DVD as a Christmas present with both movies on it, and because of how much like a regular 4K costs and that, I was fine with it because I have never seen it, and I wanted to see how well it went. By the way, I love how like the first one is PG, the second one is PG-13, in Canada is PG, and then the next one's like 14A, so that must be like RPG-13. I don't know, but there's a lot going on in this movie, and they do keep certain things to a minimum, which I think is pretty good. But there's also a lot that's left out. So the movie really starts out, and obviously, if you've seen trailers or this is not really spoilers, the movie really starts out where we find out that Lydia has her own TV show. She's had one for a while. She basically goes into places that are haunted and tries to find out what's going on, help the people that own the homes so everything can be resolved. She does have detractors, for example, like her daughter Astrid, who is mad at her mom for a lot of different reasons. Uh, at one point, she sees a ghost. She has to leave the set of the TV show, and while she's offset, she finds out from her mom that something happened to her father. The guy who played her father is actually, except for like a picture, I don't know if it's even like I think it might be a real one. I'm not sure how they did it. Um, or if they had to pay for his likeness. He in real life he basically did some screwed up stuff, and so they didn't want him in the movie, but they were able to use that to their advantage. So I do think that it did end up working out in the long run. Necessarily with Beetlejuice, we know how. If you've never seen the first movie, obviously I'm not going to spoil it. If you've seen the first movie, you know how it ended. There are obviously questions in regards to how he got to the point where he's at when we see him. There's a character in the movie called Bob, who I just found funny. Man, he takes a lot of Beetlejuice's abuse. He just takes a lot of abuse in general. One of the things you also do find out, of course, this is from the opening. Um, Lydia has a producer by the name of Rory, who she's in a relationship with, and during everything going on, Rory goes through all this stuff. Of course, Rory's a prick. You can obviously tell that, and so yeah, there's a lot of wrapped up stuff. And one of my favorite moments in the movie is Astrid is talking to Lydia, telling her, I don't believe you, talking about how she doesn't believe she sees ghosts and that. She goes, look, I was your age when I saw my first ghost. And one of the things is, and I kind of wish they had explained what it was. This is me. Uh, they explain why the Matlins aren't in the movie. So there's that. It's definitely works well for the most part. Beetlejuice isn't there as much for the comic effect. I do think, though, that he was used very well in other cases. I do think that heavily works out. Um, he kind of helps Lydia a little bit in a way, a couple ways, which was majorly surprising because of what happened in the events of the first movie. You would think he would be a little bit leery of her, but he's not. He's still madly in love with her. It's Beetlejuice. You know this is going to happen in the second movie if you've seen the first one. That's not a spoiler there. Someone I know said, with it being listed as Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, there's probably going to be a third one. I'm like, if they make a third one, they better make it happen soon, considering Michael Keaton's 73. Um, unless they could find somebody else who could play Beetlejuice, but I don't think they're going to wait that long again to make another movie. This might have been the last one, but if they did make a third one, I would hope more than anything we could get more of a backstory on Beetlejuice because we do get a small one in this movie. Not really a spoiler there. I'm not going to say what happens, but people really don't see him as a ghost or anything like that. He calls himself a, what is it, bio exterminator. It just makes you wonder how he got to be the way he is. And there's been a lot of theories of that over the course of time. People see him as a demon and whatnot. I do wish there was a little bit more of him having, different shapes. And like for the first movie, the costumes he got into were interesting as well. So I'm going to give him that. I thought Winona Ryder was pretty good in it. And the way she plays Lydia was really cool. It was seeing a different Lydia and having a backstory as to why she's the way that she is, made it worthwhile. Jenna Ortega, I don't know how much of her work I've seen, so I really can't say a lot. I think she was pretty good as Astrid, and how really she was as the character, how she saw, the way things were with Lydia and that. So she did in discovering things, and she really was good at that. It's kind of like how Winona Ryder was when she played Lydia as a youngster, and how well she took to it. Obviously, Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice. Hey, you're gonna love him no matter what. So that's pretty much gonna be it. There's a lot more that I want to say, but I don't want to give away spoilers. There is one thing I've heard different things about. There is some swearing in the movie, but from what I've heard, because it's PG-13, and they did have to bleep out a word. I'm just gonna say it because apparently it was bleeped out in the trailer. See if you've seen it, sorry for the spoiler. I've heard that people said if they had that, I didn't hear it in the beginning of the movie. That's why I want to watch it again. They said if they had dropped another F bomb, which I don't remember what the first one was, that they could have gotten an R rating, so that's why they bleeped it out. So it's hard to say. So if you've seen Beetlejuice, let me know what you think. Do you also think there will be a third movie? To everybody else, I hope if you celebrate, had a wonderful holiday season so far. Things are still going on or whatnot. If it's already passed, hope you did have a good one. And here's looking to the new year. I will see you after it. That's it, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Take care.